Yeah.
Facts.
BTA for sure.
Big BTA.
And we scored 101 points.
Paying homage to last year's team.
Yeah, man. It's good to see the boys back in the building. And it's also like, y'all supposed to be wearing jerseys, man. Like, man could have stayed, bro, for the minutes that Phoenix is giving him.
Yes.
Man could have stayed and got the same deal on the NIL. And what are you getting with Phoenix for the most part? I mean, I'd have been different. Man was a lot.
I mean, he wanted to. I mean, but all top recruits say they want to stay, but you know, hey man, you top 10, you gotta get your money fast.
Yeah.
All right.
Q's belongs in America East.
Did this not?
I don't got no problem with Syracuse in the ACC, honestly, man. I wish they were better. It's kind of sad. That just go to show you like how hard it is to maintain a program. Like people want to like discredit John Shire for taking Duke and running with it. Like that's easy. You know what I'm saying? Syracuse ain't been able to recover. Kentucky really ain't been able to recover. Like
Had a Syracuse fan talking smack to me today. That was new. That was very new.
Syracuse has fans.
I was just about to say that. Like he got to be from Syracuse, bro. Or he.
Well, I see people join from Twitter, but I don't see the Twitter link on my. I don't see the Twitter link on my page. I'm about to just start streaming. We're about to start streaming to YouTube specifically at this point because
it's streaming on Twitter and on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's now it just doesn't tweet the video for some reason. All right, I found the link. Q's recap and Michigan preview. Man, that Saturday game is gonna be nuts. What's up, y'all? Smoking on that orange packet.
I didn't even really know we had smoke with Syracuse like that, man. That's wild. I feel you though, bro. That's what we did for sure. I'm really mad. I was telling Zion before you had got on Russ, like I was kind of disappointed. I thought we was gonna hold him under 60. But most of the game, I was
hard to do that when they don't play defense at all. You know, like, and you're up 30 the whole game. I mean, like, it's tough.
Yeah. But all right. Let's get it started. If you're on Twitter, give me y'all a second to come in, but just go to YouTube. If not,
the three of you guys, man, thank you for what you guys do, and appreciate you guys having me on.
We were trying not to score and everything. We got about 33s or something.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of felt that. We kind of feed off that energy.
This place is amazing. Like I really love Duke, and I love the atmosphere I'm in here.
Mark Williams, beast mode. Paolo first half, he had the cramping stuff. Fair enough. Beast mode.
Welcome back to the Crazy Cast. We are back after a thrilling 2-game stretch here. After the 3-game, we're on a 3-game win streak. After the UNC loss, 37-point blowout tonight against Syracuse, who was coming off a win against SMU. So thought they might have had a little bit more competitive juices tonight, but Duke, sent a message to them that there's still levels to this. Mello in the building, Cooper Flagg in the building, Knueppel in the building, Coach K in the building. They watched the show tonight, fellas. How we doing here with Russ, Jamahl? How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited that the team is playing like this at the most important stretch of the season. Like, this is when you want to be playing at your best. We got 6 games left, 5 games left.
Yeah, crazy. 6.
Like, the season is really zoomed past, but this is the time of year, honestly, where you want to see all the good habits everything clicking at the right time. Defensively, we've looked on a different level for like a month, consistent to where we were like the first month of the season, probably a little bit better. Loving what I'm seeing from the bench production. Kaden Boozer, 21 minutes a night, a little bit, just a minute over what Caleb Foster played, but what he's been doing the past couple of games has been reassuring. I'm just like excited right now with what the team looks like right now. I'm just love what I'm seeing, fellas. Love what I'm seeing.
What you seeing, Russ?
What's up with these Big East teams that suck, man? Between, you know what I mean? Like Pittsburgh and Syracuse, like just you know, which program is more embarrassed right now? I mean, it's got to be Syracuse, right? Because they like came from like a higher level. I mean, but Pitt, people forget, was a really, really good program before Kevin Stallings like drilled them into the ground, and they've not really recovered outside of like making the play-in one year or something like this. Boy, Syracuse stinks.
They do.
It's hard for me
to be nice to him, but go ahead.
No. It's hard to take anything away from anything other than the Clemson game, right? The Clemson game we can take away that the Duke played really well against a really good, well coached, disciplined Clemson team, right? Like that's a game where you can take away like, oh yeah, Duke played really well that game. Pitt and then this game, it was fun. I mean, it was fun. It's fun to watch us pound terrible teams into the ground, you know, but like, you know, there's not much to take away from you play against an absolute lame duck year, terrible, you know, the coach's bag is packed. You know what I mean? Like
no, for real.
It's not even packed. He got one of those pods. You know what I mean? And he's got the movers. He scheduled the movers ahead of time. You know, he's
oh man,
you know
that's
I mean?
crazy.
He's got the arrow bed. He's got the arrow bed already.
Yeah. You know, he's zillowing. He's zillowing some new places. Dude, it's what a debacle. That team. There's talent on that team too.
Yeah,
like it's not like there's not talent on that squad. There is. The problem is like nobody can shoot, and then their best player Donnie Freeman nobody passes to. So how many times did Donnie shoot the ball? He shot 8 times, but like at least a few of them were when the game was already over. Right. So like, you know, JJ Starling just doing what he does. He stinks. You know. Nate George, I mean, has been like a decent player in the past. But boy, what a terrible decision to go to Syracuse. You know, that guy Kyle, you know, is clearly he's like an athletic freak. It's the worst free throw shooting I've ever seen in my life. But you know, like at that point, dude, just granny it. You know, just do the granny, like just granny it. You know, do the Canyon Berry. You know, just granny those joints because they had no chance of going in. Boy, oh boy. I mean, like, what a terrible, terrible team. So, yeah, I mean, we were great.
Damn.
We were great. It was a lot of fun to watch us beat a team that's really, really terrible.
You don't like Syracuse, huh, Russ?
No, I don't mind the school of Syracuse. It's just they stink. like I don't mind them. They're just mad. They're like you know, they're like something in a room. They're like something in a room
that bad,
is there. You know what I mean? Like you forget. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, I forgot that existed. You know, then you see it and you're like, oh, like maybe I should throw. They should throw that whole team on Facebook. Buy nothing.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
But
like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But what you said, honestly, those are the games like that. I kind of have a microscope closest on Duke because it's really easy to look past Syracuse, especially what we know is on the horizon at the end of the week. It's really easy. Like, I mean, but like everybody mentally looked past them. But as far as like the way the team played, like we had guys still diving for loose balls up 30 with like 5-6 minutes left. Like they played this game incredibly hard.
Shout out to Darren. Shout out to Darren.
You know, my boy made some plays today, you know. But
You know what he
I know you
tells
want
that
to say it, Russ. I know what you want to say. He gonna say Caleb blew the clip.
he made that pass and he was going.
hey man, I honestly like Caleb sold his dime too, bro. Like,
Yo, Caleb sold a couple clips tonight. Yo,
sold his
Caleb
dime,
was
but
a fast break dunk today,
Yeah.
and Caleb just ignored him. But hey, they won by 37. So
Yep,
whatever.
they did.
I'll take it.
I definitely, even though Syracuse is a bad team, we are supposed to beat up on bad teams if we're elite, and we did that today. We took care of business,
Exactly.
and, especially before a big game. Some games like this, especially coming out 48 hours after playing another game, you might see a sluggish Duke. They were maybe to start the game a little sluggish. That end of the first half, they kind of, reestablished themselves. At some point, I tweeted it. I was like, why are we only up 5 points? Like, I'm looking at the box score. I'm like, yo, playing great defense. Rebound.
This was the sloppy, like until like we sort of horsed around for like 15 minutes, like something like this. Yeah, but I mean,
all right,
like,
guys, let's play for real. Let's play for real.
At this point, like Boston College is scarier than Syracuse, man. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
have we played Boston College?
Yeah,
we
just played Boston College.
No,
I don't remember. Oh, we did.
That game was ugly too.
Oh yeah, that was the Navy game with the Tatums. They weren't the Tatums. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Yo,
yeah, man.
It is crazy because we have, like you said, we have 6 games left, and the season is very much coming to an end, and I can't even remember some points of the season at this point. But,
for real, I can't believe the season just went this fast, bro.
It's nuts. But aside from Q stinking, I think obviously Cam Boozer was great tonight. Pat, man, you got to be on the floor, man. We need Pat on the floor. I think even including Saturday's game, it's just very obvious that when Pat is on the floor, this is a better team. It just is. Love Malik, but it's like a gap like of how this team plays. I think on both ends of the floor. I think Pat has established himself as the second most important player on this team. And we'll talk about Saturday and like where we'll need him, but even just for these past few games, I think he's shown that his impact is very valuable to us. And if we're gonna make a deep run, he has to be on that floor, man.
Gotcha.
And even besides Pat, I think Isaiah Evans. I think even though it's very hard for me to call the Pitt game, that was a benching because I think Shire was just like,
no, I didn't bench him. That wasn't a bench.
It was pretty much Shire saying, I'm sticking with the same lineup that just got me on a 7-0 run to end the first half. But by technicality, it is a benching, so we'll call it a benching. Since that benching, he's been unreal. He's been ridiculous. He's shooting. I tweeted it before the game ended. I think he's shooting 12 of 21 from 3 since that. Shooting 60% from the field, 19.7 points per game. Like, hey, if Slim gives us that, this team going in the Final Four. I don't, because at that point, I don't know what the concern is. You have a guy shooting the F out the ball, and the interior is going to come with padding and booze. So if Slim keeps on playing at that rate,
honestly, that's important. You said something after the Carolina game that I kind of thought about, and I was like, yeah, it's important to start seeing this. We were playing extremely well in a high stakes caliber type game without Cameron Boozer playing extremely well. And that's always kind of been a question that people have. Like, I don't really understand. It's people that watch Duke could throw the question like, well, what does Duke do if Cameron Boozer struggles? Like, it's Cameron Boozer or nothing type stuff. And like, we've seen within the past few games that even when Cam is struggling, we can still play at a high level, like struggling momentarily because he eventually gets it together in the game. But like, that's important that Isaiah's playing to the level he's playing right now. Pat is playing to the level and he's playing minutes. Let us in minutes today. That's important that he's on the floor. It's important that all these other guys pick up the slack because we not that Cam will struggle. I haven't seen it. Nobody's really seen a true struggle game, but to be able to have another guy that we can lean on to be able to get buckets, specifically in Isaiah, we're gonna need that. And I'm with you, bro. If he's shooting to this level, with this confidence, with the way this team defends, we'll be in Indy for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, in the month before this, so the 16th to the 6th or the 15th to the 15th, December 15th to January 15th, Torvik had us as the 34th best team during that span, 31st on offense, 50th on defense. In the last month, 4th on offense, 3rd on defense, 1st overall. It has us better than any other team in that span, even with the Carolina loss in there, right? Like,
and you said, what were the dates?
January 16th to February 16th.
Does that include Louisville at home?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, there's four quad one. It includes at Stanford, it includes Louisville home, it includes at Virginia Tech, it includes at Carolina, obviously. It includes the Clemson game, although that's technically quad 2 right now. But a good, as high a quad 2 game as you can get, basically. So, yeah, I mean, really, really good play over the last month. Obviously, we've faced some duds in there, but I mean, I'm still pretty pleased. I mean, it's hard to not be pleased. I mean, even against like Stanford's not bad, and we blew them out. Virginia Tech's not bad. We handled business. Carolina, it took some weird circumstances for that game to sort of, and it was still, it took a buzzer beater for them to win at their place. Clemson handled business. So, I mean, there's a lot to really like over the last, bit of the slate.
Yeah, and shout out the shooting today. That was that. I think that had to be the best shooting of the season.
I don't need to look. I think it's the best shooting we've had in years, probably in a game. I mean, again,
I didn't see 62%. I haven't seen that from the field.
It's almost harder to make. I don't want to say it's almost harder, but we face a lot of really bad defenses over the years. We've faced some non-entity ass defenses, much like the one that we played against today. But you still don't shoot 12 for 20 from 3 in those games and end up shooting 38 for 61 overall. I mean, that's preposterous, dude. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. And
what
was the second half? Second half, I think 23 from 30 for 32, including Cam Sheffield.
Yeah, definitely got one.
That's right. Didn't Darren got one? Obviously, Nick got a couple. I mean, it's good to see some threes going in before this Michigan game. I know we'll talk about that later, but that's a game in which we're going to need some shooting. If the threes aren't falling, that game becomes very hard very quickly. So it's sort of nice to see the ball go in a little bit, before we head off to this game.
For sure. Anything else y'all want to touch on before we hop into Michigan? Shout Nick Amenia. I will note good performance, but his best 2 performances. Let me not even do it.
Like that.
Good game.
Like that. You just got to stack the good moments. That's all it is about him. Whether it comes in against games or in blowout moments, he just needs to see positive plays stacked on top of each other.
No, you're right.
That's all he needs. Don't sell him short like this. It is what it is.
Well, not to mention, we've had a lot of freshmen who are not like the one and done type freshmen who have struggled to find things even in games against easier opponents. I mean, we've seen players like this, including recently. We've seen it happen. So the fact that it's happening, and also he played well against Clemson too. I mean, I don't want to take that away too. That was he made a 3. He had that nice post up possession. I mean, I know he wasn't playing 30 minutes in that game or anything, but he gave us good bench minutes, which frankly is all he needs to do for this team.
Had a great post move. Had a great post move, and then we all said he's a 4 at the same time. He is a 4 though. I will die on that hill that he is a 4 being forced to play the 3. But shout out Nick, man. Hopefully we could take that into Michigan because we will need it.
Do we want to talk about Kaden also?
Oh yes,
Can we please? Seriously.
Bro.
Bro.
Started.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I
bro.
mean,
You start.
he's real good, man. He's real good. I mean, like I'd have to go back and look at like all the recent games, but like I don't know, dude. It's now become like I think somebody said he played one more minute today than Caleb
Played
did.
21. Caleb played 20.
You're going there.
I'm not necessarily.
Hey,
it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting.
I'll say this. Go ahead.
We said from the beginning of the year that job is Caleb's from now until forever, until it becomes very, very apparent that it needs to go a different way. And he was not good today. I think he's had some struggles. As of late, he was good against Pitt, but again, if we're going to count Kaden against Syracuse, we can count Caleb against Pitt. They're both disgraces of programs, and that we're allowed to count both of them either way. But I think that Kaden is really starting to play well recently on both ends of the floor, really. I mean, he's definitely not, the sort of freshman still figuring out the defense. I think he's in the right place a lot more. He's really careful with the ball. His decision-making generally, I would say, is quite good. He's the sort of guy that, I really like, and he's made some threes, which helps too. I just really like everything we're seeing. So when you think about the rest of this season, when you think about, obviously going forward into next season as well, you start to think like if progression is linear, which it isn't always, but if progression is linear, then you have to be really excited about what he's going to bring to the table. And he's kind of going to demand more minutes as a result of that as well.
Right. Yeah.
And I agree with Monty as well. It's the difference between watching Foster, who is basically like sort of a combo guard, 2 guard who plays the 1, versus like Kaden is very clearly like an old school point guard. Right. So it makes sense that some of those things that Kaden does well are maybe things that aren't as natural to Caleb, in the same way that Caleb is generally a better shooter on the season than Kaden has been, right, in terms of distance shooting. So I just think it's something worth considering when you need the ball in a point guard's hands, and Kaden has been playing as well as he has. What does that look like going forward? It might make for some tough minutes conversations, but going forward.
Honestly, I think it's perfect. I think it's like the best of both worlds for Duke, because they both offer different things. Obviously, at the defensive end, point of attack, Caleb brings a different dynamic for the team than Kaden does. And offensively, as far as a pace, table setting standpoint, we all know what it is, because Monty said it best. One is a legit 1 is a 2 masquerading as a 1. But the minutes distribution, I feel like based off of what the game can dictate, John has done a great job. It doesn't even really matter. I think all season long, everybody's been waiting until, okay, eventually Kaden is going to take this spot. He's going to replace Caleb. I don't even necessarily think it has to be that. Based off of how the game goes, the minutes will dictate that. And how to play, basically flat out, the past 2 games, Kaden has been outplaying him. The minutes, for the most part, have shown. I'm not even really sure how many minutes they play against each other the last game. I know tonight, Kaden played 1 more minute. It was a little lopsided. Kaden is always on the floor with the backup guys, Cam Sheffield and those lineups. He's usually always on the floor in those lineups. But honestly, man, I think it's a good thing that we have these 2 options, because defensively, when Caleb's locked in, and when he's aggressive offensively, he just gives us a completely different dynamic. But the way Kaden is playing, bro, right now, it's going to be kind of hard to, the conversation's definitely going to be interesting. I'll say that, because I don't think the decision is going to be hard for John. John knows what he's going to do with this rotation. But it makes for interesting conversation for the fan base. I'll say that much.
I'm on the boat of don't change until it's very much needed. I don't think it's needed at this point for the fact we are 24-2 at this point. And you know, although Caden's hot, I think he's comfortable in that coming off the bench role. And you know, you don't want to you want to make that drastic decision this late in the season, and it's like, oh, we zapped Caleb Foster.
Exactly.
I'm not even talking about starting necessarily as much as the minutes distribution more than anything else.
I trust John to, like, if it's a game where Kaden just flat out deserves, I trust John to give Kaden more minutes. Like, I don't think that John is married to the idea that Caleb has to play a bulk of the point guard minutes because he's Caleb Foster. He's my most tenured guy. He's the guy that went through the adversity and still came back. I want to see this. Like, he's not like John is not that kind of guy. Like, John's gonna play it how it's supposed to go. So and that's the thing that people don't what kind of confuses me about the narrative centered around this lack of point guard discussion for Duke is because we all know that Kaden is that, bro. Everybody knows he's that. Like, it's not like he's not on the roster. No, he's not starting. But we see it tonight. He will play starter minutes. So, the whole notion that Duke still has point guard concerns or whatever, kind of I laugh literally out loud every time I hear that type of stuff because people just kind of it's I guess a talking point that people just throw out there. But Kaden is going to play the minutes that he needs to play. So if it's a game that dictates a guy at his position, we actually have to get good sets from the point guard. We need his pace. We need his steadiness. He's going to get those minutes. I'm not really worried about it at all, though. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I want to bring up the defense real quick just because, again, I think that they even said it on the halftime show, you know, an elite defensive player in Caleb Foster, you know, is one of the things. So far in conference play, when Caden's on the floor, Duke is 1 point, allows 1 point fewer per 100 possessions than when he's off the floor. When Caleb's on the floor, they allow 22.2 points more as a team, which is the 0th percentile in terms of on-off defensive rating, genuinely.
But
right?
I mean, so we don't put that all on Foster, though.
It's not all, but dude, out of the defensive ratings on the team individually, everybody's is above 90th percentile. His is below 75th. I mean, that's not exclusively you're right that in individual matchups can skew things. I get that. Exactly. The only reason I bring that up, look, we're still a top 5 defense. Caleb Foster is a part of that. I'm not trying to diminish from that necessarily as much as point out that when people so much of the argument against Kaden comes but Caleb's a better defender. And it's well, so far in conference play, that's not been the case, you know, and I think that's worth pointing out.
Defensive rating is always tricky for me. I know you and Marshall, shout out Marshall, big defensive rating people. I gotta watch the tape too, because
that's the most important thing to me. My eyes,
I hear you.
Honestly, for maybe the past month, Kaden has been, compared to where he was to start the season, he's been borderline elite defensively. The narrative on him is that he's not a good defender. But if you watch him, what he's been doing on the defensive end for about the past month, his screen navigation is amazing now. He's not getting lost on screen and rolls. He's fighting to get over top, keeping the ball in front. Hands has been active. He's been very, 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 very good on defense to the point that, honestly, Caleb don't even really have that over him no more, truth be told. If we being honest, narratives drive so much of this sport. It's the reason why people still overreact to Isaiah Evans catching the ball at the 3-point, because the narrative is that he's just this lights out shooter, when in all actuality, numbers wise, he's kind of average, as far as 3-point shooting. But the narrative is gonna drive it. You know what I mean? So the narrative is driving that whole discussion around Caleb and Kaden. But Kaden has been doing. I want to salute you, my boy, for what you've been doing on the defensive end past month.
You can also toss defensive rating. Teams are shooting 11% better effective field goal percentage against Duke when Caleb is on the floor than when he's off. You know, in ACC play, right? That's not all Caleb. That's a team stat. But when the stats, you can't look at any stat individually as this is the gospel. But when it's a big difference between everything else, I mean, then you have to at least go, that's interesting and worth considering. And again,
It
I think
is.
And that's when you go to the tape and see, okay, can it be verified? But I don't think I understand your point of your whole point. I wanted to tie back, like rework your point. Your point is not that Caleb Foster is a bad defender. Your point is that Kaden is a better defender than he gets credit for.
Correct. And I would argue has been better in ACC play as well. Okay. I would say that too. Right. That's the thing about on-off stats too, right? Is because, well, who's replacing, right? So like Nick has been really good on defense, basically, in ACC play for the most part. Kaden has been very good. Like, we don't play bad defenders at any point.
No.
Right? So then, like, if everybody is basically a good defender now, well, then that sort of makes some of when the team plays differently when certain guys are on there. It seems worse than it is, but it's also worth talking about if the stats, if that difference between on and off is pretty glaring, you know, and I'm sure the team is looking at that too. I mean, like, I'm sure that is playing a role in why Nick has the trust that he has to come off the bench, even when he was going through that really cold shooting streak. They were still throwing Nick out there, you know, some of the fans were like revolting about it, but they kept throwing him out there because I'm sure they saw, hey, like the defense plays generally better when Nick is out there, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, I think those arguments are under the microscope in bigger games anyway. So we'll see. We'll see on Saturday what happens.
Because honestly, Caleb's come to play in every big game we've had all season long. Every big game we've had, Caleb's gonna play. So you know, should we do callers? I think we should do callers first because they're probably gonna ask about Michigan. I don't want to. Everybody want to talk about Michigan, man. Yeah. You already know that.
Everyone's gonna talk about.
You already know that.
Let's hop into the callers. Let me see. Oh man, big game. The big game. I guess it start y'all before we get into that. Start us off with your initial thoughts on this Michigan matchup. We got 7 calls. Michigan matchup. Russ,
oh boy,
give us your early thoughts.
Oh, you're talking to
that's a Russ.
You played the call sound.
Nah, yeah. But I said before we jump into calls, give us like your early thoughts on the matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be very, very hard to score 2s against Michigan. That's been hard all year. They're the best, I think, interior defense in the country. Mata, excuse me, if he does not win National Defensive Player of the Year, I'd be really surprised. He's either him or Chinyelu. I mean, like, those are your guys, right? So, like, I think it's going to be hard to score inside against them. It's going to take Pat and Cam and Malik. I mean, it's going to take group effort, right, to get good looks in there. We're going to have to complete those looks. I think trying to draw fouls would help, but like it's way easier said than done against them. I think the big area in which we probably can get some stuff done is from 3, right? Like Cam playing how he plays, stretching out, you know, you bring Johnson out. Now when Mata's in there, like that doesn't help us, but like, you know, it does help significantly. I don't know in terms of Yaks. I mean, Yaks has been phenomenal for them. Maybe you see some Dame on Yaks. I would think probably, you know, that feels likely. But yeah, the guards really need to come to play. The guards have to come to play. Dame's got to do a really good job on Yaks, or whoever's on Yaks has to do a good job on Yaks. And I think if those 2 things happen, if Duke's making some 3s, playing well guard, Dame's helping with Yaks, doing a good job there, then the size they have inside and the general dominance on the interior that they've displayed throughout the rest of the year, we can mitigate that, especially given the fact that we're no slouches on the inside either, right? Like, you know, I just don't think we're going to have like this, we massacre them on the inside, which is how we've beaten some good teams so far this year, right? We're going to have to make some 3s. We're going to have to be savvy with our defense. Pat has to play a lot of minutes. It comes down to Malik guarding Mata. barbecue chicken alert. It's gonna be bad news, right? Like, so Pat has to play a lot of minutes when Mata's out there. Yeah, that's the biggest matchup thing that I'm looking for is Pat playing 18 minutes or is he playing 28 minutes? If it's 28 minutes, I really like our chances. If it's 18, it might be tough. Might be real tough unless we're draining the threes. So that's kind of what I think.
What you got?
Yeah, I mean, the 3-point line, of course, is going to, like, we were talking about that before we got on, Zion. Like, I honestly think that'll be, like, the difference. I think both of these teams are so good in the front court. I honestly, you brought up an interesting point about Dame, Gar, and Yaxel, because Shire has been placing him at the point of attack for, like, last, like, 3 or 4 games.
Mm.
He's been placing him, and it's been, like, completely disrupting, like, everything for what Derek Dixon did the last 2 minutes and the plays that he made in the last 2 minutes. The first 38 minutes, his life was a living hell. His life was a living hell the first 38 minutes of that game. So the thing about that, I would like to see, I'm interested to see if Shai sticks with that, because them playing the 3 bigs kind of makes it to where I think Dame has to guard Yaxel. I honestly don't know if we will be able to put Dame at point of attack against Michigan, because their 3, quote unquote, is 6'10", you know. So we
don't need to either. I mean, we has been very good this year. Let's be clear, he's been very good this year, but he's more the straw that stirs the drink. He's not the guy like that, right? Like, I think that we've got guys who can do a serviceable job on him.
Yeah, I think Kelly can guard him fine.
Yeah, I agree. And Kaden.
Pass.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like you're underwater. Is it just me?
No, it's not just you. It's me too.
Yeah, you sound like you're underwater, Jamahl. Reset for a second. But yeah, I think that interesting. That the matchup between Yaxel will be interesting, because I do feel like if he's trying to put the ball down against Dame, like, he's gonna be in hell. But I also do like Dame continuously being on the point of attack and maybe trying to put hell on Cadeau to initiate for these bigs, because Morez and Mara, the way they get the ball is from Elliot Cadeau. They're rarely gonna, like, just create their own shot from, unless obviously they're on the block. So if you make it hell for Cadeau, I do think that's gonna affect Mara and Morez's impact. Maybe not so much Yaxel, but Yaxel is a guy too that you kind of want him shooting jumpers. I don't know his numbers, but
you want him shooting threes for sure.
Yeah, so,
he's shooting a little less than 30% from 3.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of like, also the route. Like, if we want him to shoot jumpers, I don't know if you necessarily put Dame on him. Maybe you just put Isaiah on him and gap him a lot. Jamahl, speak.
I can already tell it's gonna be underwater. I heard. No, it's bad, dude.
It's bad. Yeah, reset again. Maybe get AirPods.
Shit sounds like Roger and Zap, dude.
Yeah.
Well, Jamahl, give us a little. I wanna be your man.
Hey, wait, it sound better? It sound better?
A little. Yeah, it sounds better.
Brian says it's the AirPods in the comments.
I ain't got AirPods on today, bro. I'm good, man.
Oh, okay. Maybe you were covering your mic. But
I don't know. I'm straight, man.
I think my only counter to that, Zion, would be, like, the problem is, like, Yax and Mata also are really good passers. Like, I know that Cadeau generally sets the table for everybody, but, like, if boy, oh boy, if Dame's there, right? If Dame's there, then you're putting Slim on Yax. If I'm Dusty May and Slim's on Yax, I'm trying some stuff to get Yax inside against Slim, right? And let him sort of play the way he played last year a little bit more. And man, boy, I don't know. That's just a tough. I kind of think the thing that seems cleanest to me is Dame on Yaks, because then, okay, well then that's putting a lot more on like Cadeau to score, right? Like, and to try to like create
Which
that
he's
way.
been doing a lot better this year, though. He's a completely
good
different player
shooter.
than he was last year.
Yeah, he has been strong.
It's funny how you take a guy out of Hubert's system. And Cade Tyson is a brilliant shooter now, and Cadeau's a brilliant shooter. And you put Evans from Colorado State on UNC, and now he can't shoot anymore. I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm just trying to like play out who then guards whom, right? Like, because then you've got Caleb and Slim. One is on Burnett, one is on Yaks. Brian asked if he thinks that we would do switching on defense. I mean, I wouldn't, against them. They're too big. I mean, they're like,
unless we're doing big switches and stuff like that, because they run some similar stuff to what we do with their bigs in the high post and stuff sometimes. But I wouldn't do it other than if it's like 4 or 5 switching.
Yeah, I mean, and even if they pull Mata out at all, I mean, then you could potentially put Johnson and Yaks down low. One of them is going to be against somebody who's 6'6", and the other is going to be on Cam Boozer, who we don't want in foul trouble. Like, it's going to be a tough game, right? It's going to take really good team effort on both sides of the ball. It's going to take some good shooting, like being the better. It might just not to be as reductive as whichever team makes more threes is probably going to win, but like that might just be the case, right? It might just be something like that. So it'll be really interesting. I'm very, very interested to see what Shire does, because again, Michigan's been blowing teams out, blowing teams out. And if Pat like can't play because he's in foul trouble and picks up some cheap ones, it could get gross. Like, Duke fans don't want to hear it, but like if he can't play much, it could get gross against this Michigan team.
It really could. It's gonna sound kind of crazy, but the way this game will be officiated is important, because if Duke is allowed to be physical, if Pat specifically is allowed to be physical. One thing about Mara is really good. He's really talented. He's really long. He's really skilled. He's not physical, and he's not strong. And Pat has the strength advantage over him. And if he's allowed to play with physicality somewhat, that could be important, because that could potentially nullify a lot of the things that he does, especially we can keep him away from the basket. Because if he's allowed to just camp in the paint, like with no repercussions, like it's going to be a long day for Duke. Like it really is.
I also kind of think Mata is pretty physical. Like, he's not he's not like Carson Cooper or whatever.
No, like, I mean, like
he is tough, man. It's hard to get him off his spots. I mean, like, and also teams have been trying to, like, he plays in the Big Ten. Teams have been just like trying to hammer him and do that all year. And he just, all he does is just casually continue to play.
Yeah, he'll continue to play. He'll continue to play. But I've seen spots where, like I said, I've been kind of stalking Michigan this year. It's kind of sick, bro. Like how much I've been watching Michigan. Like, as good as I've seen times where he can get moved off his spot. He's a physical defender. He'll hard value and stuff like that too. But I don't know. I feel like this is an area where Pat can improve on the legend of Pat Gamba in this game, because I feel like physically this is a matchup that he can win against him specifically. But
I mean, we saw them against Pat and Cam against Chinyelu. I think Michigan obviously has a little bit more size and athleticism, I would say, with Morez and Yaxel. But physicality, I still might get an edge to Florida.
Yeah, it's not going to get more rougher than what Florida gives you from a physicality standpoint with that front court.
Yeah, I mean, playing at home versus playing neutral probably plays a role there too, right? Yeah. And also Florida, like, just they were going through some things that they aren't anymore. Like they were always still
they were, but their front court was still always steady for the most part. It was
front court was
the back court was stinky.
Backcourt was stinky, but yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, it's gonna be a tough game. I'm just going in with an open mind and saying, hey, all I want to see is, do we play good basketball, right? Like, are we up to the challenge? If our guys play, are we neck and neck with them? Is it one of those games that's like a Final Four type game where like whoever has the ball last might win kind of game? You know, like that. Like if that happens and we drop it, then like it's what it is. But like if I just don't want to go in there and have Pat play 12 minutes and then we lose by 20, right? Like I don't want that.
I honestly don't even really think it'll be like. I mean, Michigan, for as dominant as they've been, like in like totality throughout the whole entire season, they'll go through lulls in games as well. Like, I don't know, Duke fans, we know that we can go win them, you know, but I just think like as far as like these teams are honestly evenly matched. Honestly, evenly matched. And this is why I was been waiting on this game so much to get Duke in the position to play like against a team that everybody think is just this complete juggernaut. And they've been credit to them, bro. They've been beating the brakes off everybody, but they have chinks in their armor. Me personally, if Duke can keep them out of transition and just make them a half court team, which they run good stuff traditionally, but like if we can keep them out of transition and specifically like just limit them to half court sets, Duke should win this game. Our half court defense is really good. Like, and I think for as good as Michigan is, it's not enough talk about how good Duke is, especially on the defensive end, because we don't have the excite. Like Mara block a shot and that'll lead to a backwards alley off of 2 passes, like something like that. And then like that just looks a lot better than you swinging the ball for 30 seconds and then not getting a good shot off against Duke defense. Like both of the defensive possessions resulted in what you wanted. It's just going to look different when Michigan does it. So I'm excited to see what we can do defensively. Specifically, like I said, just keeping them out of transition. If they get in transition, bro, it could for real, like get sideways.
I do think this is a game where the pace Duke wants to play a slower pace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we gotta gross it up. 94th percentile in quad 1 games at transition field goal attempts allowed, rate. 94th percentile is pretty good. If they're only taking 9% of their field goals in transition, then I'll feel pretty good about it. Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be this is the ultimate test. Like you said, I'm not really, obviously I want to win. I know just as a Duke fan, we regular season championship games are not really a thing, so winning would be cool, but I just want to see them fight. I just want to see them be in it to the end. If they drop it, and you learn from it and you move forward. But now you have that experience to take it to March. But
I mean, do y'all seriously think it's a world in which, like, I mean, I know Michigan been blowing people out, but y'all really think it's a chance that either one of these teams, like, gets blown out? I think both of these teams are too good to get blown out.
We haven't seen Duke get blown out in 2 years.
No. You see, here's the problem. A, that's right. But B, the problem is, like, if they lose one of their big men, like, let's say Mata gets in foul trouble, well, then they still have Yaks at the 4 and Morez at the 5, right? And they'll still play really, really good basketball there as they have when he's been out of games. Whereas if we lose Pat in a game like this to foul trouble, that's a very different world, in my opinion.
It is.
So like they can survive one of their guys getting in foul trouble, whereas if we have either Pat or obviously Cam in foul trouble, then that sucks. And that's the only way that it can become blowout is if Pat and or Cam are just not able to stay on the floor. But if that happens, it's not impossible that it gets away from us in a way that it probably won't get away from Michigan unless multiple of their big men end up having to sit.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of like if we have our personnel on the floor, I feel like we're too good defensively and we have the best player in the country to get blown out.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like UNC, where you pick up foul picks up Pat picks up 3, Malik picks up 2.
Yeah. Then it's going to be trouble because then even if Pat's playing, he's going to be a shell of himself. He's not going to be doing what we need him to do. So I mean, that's a huge factor. That's a huge factor. It's the sort of thing where I'd be tempted to be like, if I'm live betting or whatever, and you see like Pat pick up like a second foul at like the 13-minute mark or whatever, I'd be like,
hey, listen, bro.
Hammer, you know, like.
Last time we was Duke had a big game, we was talking about potential foul trouble. We talked up Pat trouble. We talked up Pat getting in foul trouble, if I can get it out, and he eventually got in foul trouble.
Yeah,
so
a
I'm
fan
not even speaking
saw
that into
that.
existence. Pat
Yeah,
gonna play 30 minutes, have 2 fouls, and that's it. I ain't even speaking that to existence this time,
Pat
bro.
is playing 35 minutes. Nah,
Let's go.
I mean, if he plays 35 minutes, I'm going to feel really, really good.
Me too. Me too.
Oh man! All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into the calls. First caller. Here we go. Let me get to the page. Let me get to the page. Derek, Isaiah Evans season. Shout out my guy Derek.
Hey, Crazy Cast, Derek here. Watching this game, you know, we're looking great. Syracuse, obviously, you know, terrible team, but whatever. Defense is just spectacular. Saturday, I am excited for this one. You know, this is a game, you know, pretty much Final Four caliber teams, you know, national championship caliber teams. It's one of those games, like, we're kind of going to be the underdog, you know, for the first time in, I'd say, 2 years. We're not going to be the favorite ending in this game. And I love that we can kind of, you know, go up against a team like this at this time, right before the tournament, you know, because win or lose, obviously want to win, but we're going to see like where we are, like how we match up against a top team. And I love it. I want to, you know, I want to play really well. I think this is going to be a battle on the boards for us. And I think we'll do well. It's going to come down to a couple little things, couple possessions here and there. And it's going to be for both teams. So it's going to be a very, very exciting game, and I'm ready for it. This team, they've been battling all year, and, you know, they get this one. Definitely see them being, you know, the number one overall seed in the tournament with one of the best resumes you can possibly have. So let's go.
Yeah, I do think if Duke wins this game, I mean, there's pretty much no unless they drop a couple stinkers. That one seed is pretty much in the bag. But even if they lose it, the one seed is still in Duke's favor for the most part. I don't expect either team.
Neither one of these teams will fall off that one line with a loss on Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
No, definitely not. It's the other games that would affect that. And frankly, I'd be surprised. I think any of these teams could lose multiple games and still probably okay. But Duke's probably top in WAB, or if they're not at top at wins above bubble, I mean, like they're got to be really high up there. Second, Michigan number 1 at WAB, Duke second in WAB. So I mean, like that's no matter what happens. I mean, like those are probably your top 2 seeds as of today.
Yeah. And Michigan does. We are recording this before Michigan's game tomorrow, so you know they play at Purdue tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Always hard to win in Mackey. You know, we'll see.
Not for Iowa State.
Russ, you're giving me the face like that. You're about to say, "Yo, they're gonna win by 15."
They're gonna win by a lot. No, I want Michigan to defend well enough that the Braden. I'm still rooting for Braden Smith to not quite get that assist record. You know what I mean?
Okay, true.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't really want some game where Purdue pulls off the upset and he gets like 15 assists or whatever, because then that's gonna hurt my other agendas. So you know, it's a tough game.
Shout out to Les Austin in the chat. I think you're a Michigan fan or just a Duke hater. Thank you for showing us respect.
I think you're a Michigan fan.
Oh, Michigan fan.
Respect.
All right, next caller.
Good call, Derek.
Our boy Mark.
Hey guys. Well, I had fun. I hope you guys did. Real quick, how did Syracuse become our most guaranteed W on the ACC schedule this side of Boston College? And talk about pathetic on their part. But like you guys, I have no complaints about tonight. A ton of fun. The perfect game to have before Michigan. Saturday is going to be great. Michigan will be great. Duke will be great. Very excited to see how Duke does in the Final Four caliber game. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for this pod. And as always, go Duke.
Yeah, I mean, Boston College gave us a better game by like half. Like, well, it was like
really
18-point game or something. I mean, like, you know, like Boston College just has a severe talent deficit. That's the biggest problem with them. Syracuse has a organizational deficit. Like they're just like, they've got like a problem as an entire like entity, right? And they have since the tail end of Boeheim's tenure there, right? Like it's just been really, really bad for a while. Autry was never the right pick. Like I'm sure he's a great guy, but like it's not the right pick. When was the last time Syracuse has not been top 30 in KenPom since 2016?
Is that Michael Benajay years?
They haven't been top 10 since 2013.
That's
you know, like
crazy.
Like it's been a decade of irrelevance, basically. You know, I know they made a Sweet 16 once or twice because Boeheim wheeled out the funky zone, right? But like,
we played them in 19, right? In the Sweet 16, right?
I'm sure they beat us at one point in there too. And there's gonna be some Syracuse. That's the thing. And Big East fans, if there's any in the comments, there's always like a UConn fan or whatever, like trolling or whatever. You know, like, but UConn fans will agree with me on this. Syracuse's fan base is one of the most intolerable. They are brutal for a team that has been, you know, irrelevant for a decade. I mean, like they are just
I ain't know it's been that long, bro. That's crazy.
They are out there. They're like the Providence fans of the ACC at this point, man. Like they are. It's rough stuff. Shout out to Duncan Powell and that whack ass haircut. So like,
all right, look, Big East.
Well, we saw him in the ACC. You know, yeah. Like
he had the same haircut when he was in the ACC too.
He should have left it there. I don't know, man. Like it's gross and it's a disgrace. I mean, like it's a disgrace. This was a proud program, and you know, I forget who. I think Trilly Donovan said something along these lines that like, you know, when Cincinnati's job is theoretically available at this summer, that's probably a better job than the Syracuse job. You know, like there's just more resources, a more desirable place to live. I mean, like they've been relevant like more recently than Syracuse probably. I'd have to look, but like that feels true. You know, it's just it's bad times there. I don't know what their option is other than find a guy.
Who cares about Syracuse? We talking too much about Syracuse.
I wanted to pour some dirt on the grave a little bit
because y'all really been going hard against Syracuse.
Yeah, you've been going at Syracuse today. Enough.
Bro, I hate Syracuse.
Disgusting, man. Like the ACC needs to stop being so disgusting. Pull it together. I'm sure he's a great guy. There's a lot of great guys on that team, but pull it together.
Shout out Mark for the call. Andrew Engerman. You sent two calls, so we'll see.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Just watching, the finale of this game tonight. Just watching how much Nick Hamenya impacts the game tonight. If he gets that shot going, we're going to be dangerous, along with Kaden Boozer, the way he's been playing, shooting the ball, distributing the ball. If those two start impacting the game, we can start going 8 or 9 deep consistently. This team's going to be scary come March. Please just talk about, what their impact means and what that means for the ultimate ceiling of this team. Really realistically, we'll see what happens Saturday and kind of a litmus test for us. But, if those two start impacting the game the way they are right now, this team's going to be scary come March.
Yeah. Who you say? He said Nick and Kaden?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, Caden's been impactful, right? Like Kaden has that like in that game against I want to say it was Texas Tech where he was working really hard.
He made some clutch plays down the stretch too.
Yeah, I mean, Caden's already there. I mean, I think they're both there. It's all we need from Nick is like good 8th man minutes, right? We need good 8th man minutes. We need like a 3. We need steady defense. We need, the versatility that when his game is on that he can bring. And then as far as Kaden is concerned, I mean, we talked a lot about him earlier, but like if he just continues to progress linearly the way that it seems like he has over the last month or so, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, he's going to be a huge, huge part of any sort of run that Duke makes.
I don't want to put too much pressure on this kid because, I mean, Duke can reach the heights they want to without him, but Nick can single-handedly change the trajectory of his team. of this team with the way he shoots the basketball. He's gonna be a guy that's like if everything goes because of what he does, effort wise, the versatility that he has on the defensive end, he could play anywhere between. It's been low the past couple of games other than tonight, but usually he's gonna be 17 to 20, 24 minute a night type of guy. If he's getting that many minutes anyway and giving us the shooting that he gave us tonight, this becomes a completely different team because everything else is going to be there. Even if he doesn't do that, like Duke can still be in a good position to win games and win at the highest level. But it's a different monster, bro, when this team is making shots like the way we made tonight. Like we become like, oh snap, like we really can't. Now people start to look at us how they looked at us last year. If this team can just make shots, like that's it. Everything else they do like at an elite level. If the shot making, and he's one of the guys that theoretically he's supposed to be like one of the best shooters on the team. Coming into the season, he was one of the guys that people looked at like, okay, we can count on him for some shooting. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? And we know why people was throwing that comparison out there, but it is what it is. Either way, he was a really good shooter in high school. Like that's a skill for him. I know it doesn't look like it at Duke, but that's one of his best skills is shooting the basketball. If he can shoot to the level that he's capable of, that changes the trajectory of this team completely going into the tournament, bro. So no pressure, Nick, but if you shoot it how you've been shooting it tonight, and like he played well in the Clemson game, he shot it well. He didn't shoot a lot in the Clemson game, but the shots he took, he made. You know, so like what I'm seeing from Nick, man, he keep this up. It's a different team for sure.
He's only played fewer than 13 minutes once in the last month, and that was obviously the Carolina game when he got.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play regardless.
I mean, he's played 13 plus minutes in all those games. Last 7 games, he's 7 for 14 from 3. You know, again, that's sort of spaced out, right? Like he's not always taking threes, but like I think it goes to show that like we talked about this even when his shot was not falling at all earlier this year. Like it, in my mind, it passes the eye test. It looks like a good shot. It just hadn't been falling really. And now on the season, he's shooting what, 35%, 36%?
He that high?
On the season. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, it ain't. I'll take it. It don't seem like he's shooting that high though. Like that's impressive.
Are you sure that?
Yeah.
Well, Russ has disappeared on us.
Wow. Hey, yeah, man. I was like, man, how you gonna come in with the stats like that?
I see why he did. Good.
Yeah, I was letting the baby get out of here, man. Yeah, no, 35.2% from 3 on the season so far.
Okay, he's getting better, because it was in the 20s for a good stretch.
Yeah, I mean, even in Tier A KenPom games, he's shooting 30%, which is like not optimal. But again, for a guy who, you know, generally speaking, the expectation was once it looked bad, it stayed low, right?
So like, because he's gonna like you said, he's gonna play, bro. Like he's getting on the floor, and he's gonna do the intangible stuff regardless. So if he can get the shot rolling with that, yeah, bro, it's curtains.
Monty, I wasn't comparing him to Khan. I was making fun of the people who were comparing him to Khan. Relax, brother. You know what?
You know who he reminds me of? A little Joey Baker with Alex O'Connell and Khan and who else? Who are some other white guys we've had?
You know why?
It's all under the same umbrella. It's all under the same umbrella. It don't matter.
Yeah. That's quite a comparison. You know what I mean?
Before we jump to the part 2, Jamahl, this Michigan game better work out for us, or going to have to blame you for that.
I'm not gonna lie. If we win that game, y'all know none of y'all are gonna care about that UNC loss. Nobody's going to care about that UNC loss.
No. If we win the game and we win the next UNC game, will.
Okay. The reason why I said that because I don't think it's a Duke fan on the planet that don't think that we gonna like wax UNC the sack. Like we know we blew that game. We were the better team all game. They stole it. We gonna do what we supposed, and that's what I was saying. We get another crack at UNC, bro. We get another crack to right that wrong. We don't get another crack at Michigan. At least not another guaranteed crack. You know what I mean? So I got full confidence that we gonna do what we supposed to do against UNC.
I will never take a UNC game for granted ever. I agree.
know.
We're the better team.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean they can't win. You know?
No, they can. Like, they can win technically. Technically, you're right. But
yeah, Nick
we're
is
gonna do 'em
Nick
right.
is like Grayson Allen. Yeah, he's
Black for the audio listeners says in the comments, Nick might be this team's Grayson Allen. Is that a hot take? Absolutely, it's a hot take. It's it's scorching hot.
You know, now wait a minute. Hold up. Let me try to justify it. Right. You know how Grayson's freshman year, like he didn't shit. I mean, like Nick might be playing more minutes in ACC play than Grayson did.
That's what I was about to say.
Roster
Grayson had a 30 ball.
That's what I was about to say. Like, but Nick is a regular in the rotation. Grayson wasn't until like the end.
But I'll say this: when Nick had that like post up where he had the fancy footwork, it did. You know how like Grayson sometimes he'd come into the game and he'd go, ooh, like, wait a minute. Like, Nick does have a little bit of like, oh, there might be more here. There might be more here. You know?
I think with Grayson's success wasn't really fully needed until Suleiman got kicked off the team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then even then, we still had high level guards where if, you know, Quinn, Tyus, Matt Jones were playing well the whole game, you wouldn't really need Grayson. I did make the Nick Grayson comparisons earlier in the season in terms of like what they did, like doing the little things like diving on the floor, you know, making that defensive stop. The numbers aren't always gonna, you know, show how well they played. Yeah. But I think Grayson was just another level of skill that, like, you know, it wasn't like Grayson he couldn't do that early in the year. Just wasn't really needed.
Yeah, you know, that was also a year where like Kay was really reluctant to use the bench much anyway. So I mean, even after Suleiman was gone, I mean, you're looking at like late February, he's catching 7 minutes a game, 8 minutes a game, and obviously like in the tournament against San Diego State, Utah, Gonzaga, I mean, he wasn't playing much at all. No. It wasn't until the Final Four where it was like, ooh, wait a minute, right?
That's why I was like, role wise, I would compare Darren to Grayson, like as far as like the role that they get, because
Grayson played more. Grayson played more.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Nick plays a little bit too much. Like, you know what I mean? Could be what Grayson was.
Yeah. Shout out to Darren for that dive on the floor, man. That was.
I just can't believe Caleb sold.
All right, next caller. Next caller.
I didn't say anything.
Well, this is part 2 for Andrew.
Hey guys, how's it going? Long time listener, first time caller. You know, I just watched the wrap up of this game.
He recorded the second one because he thought the first one didn't go through. So, out to you, Andrew. Next caller, Tim.
Boy, did that escalate quickly. Just complete domination from Duke. If we can get 70 to 75% of that offense for the rest of the year, this is a legit title contending team. I love to see the pieces developing, and obviously Slim, you know, being what we thought he was going to be the whole year. If he can continually grow into that role, which he seems to do, but it's also the bench pieces. It's Nick coming in and just hitting a three. It's obviously Malik and his defense. But if we can even get that 7 minutes from Darren Harris, man, it's just sky's the limit for this team. Just would love to continually see the bench develop and be a threat. Kaden's really starting to come into his own. But what a Monday. Great win. We'll see Michigan on Saturday.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts, Tim. You get we'll give you applause for that call, because I don't know really how to respond to it.
Nah, yeah, it was nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. Everything you want to see the bench give you more production. It's kind of like we all know that this team is a championship caliber team, but you don't see it for full stretches enough. I honestly think like we haven't played enough complete games, to me, honestly, if I'm being completely honest about this team. But I mean, we all know what this team is capable of. So when you see it, it's just like, see, fellas, this is what I'm talking about right here. But you know, that is important that the bench is becoming more productive going into the tournament. I am loving that aspect of it.
For sure. Brady Johnson, what a name. You got me 1 minute 30 minutes, bro. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh, what a win. That was a freaking awesome win. I just can't believe it. Like, first of all, what I liked most about that win was just seeing Kaden Boozer just hit those open threes. Like, what I look for in a point guard is being able to hit open shots when you need them. And I feel like Kaden Boozer really showed a lot today that I didn't think he was capable of before that, which is really promising for this team's ceiling. And also, shout out Nick Kamenia, man. He hit a lot. He hit a lot of good threes today, and he'd been struggling to find that shot, quite frankly, over the last couple of games. And so being able to see him, hit those shots, it was such a relief, and it really shows how high this team's ceiling is, which I think we hit today. I think this performance that we put on today was pretty emblematic of how good we can be. And so, as much as I want to talk about Michigan, and believe me, it's going to be an epic freaking game, and I can't wait to talk about that. Like, this win right here, just watching everyone put it together, the hustle, the defensive intensity, the shot making, just seeing all of it come together was just amazing. And I just love this team so much, and I can't wait to see how they do down the stretch.
Good call, Brady.
That was a really good call, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, like Nick's comparison is Brady. You know what I mean? Like Nick and Brady, they have like something. There's something about his game is I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. The I like Brady, man. I liked. There was a good mellow vibe to that call, which I appreciated. I think that there was something in there that he said that I wanted to touch on. Shit, but I had to get my jokes off. I don't remember. I don't remember now. Shit. Yeah. Look, dude. I think that the bench. And, oh no. Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. It's hard to judge this game against other games this year because of the opponent, but in terms of sheer funness of victory, this one was very high up there because it's very high up there. I feel like when I go back and watch games off my YouTube TV library or whatever, very rarely am I watching the ones that I was like biting my nails the whole game. I watched the one where it's like how you put 2K on easy mode, right? Just that way you just get a bunch of dunks and feel good about yourself. That's kind of what this was. It was basketball on easy mode. It was great.
Enjoyable, especially when at the end of that first half they put the pedal to the metal, man. Shout out to Brady on that call. Next caller, Shaq Black. You're in the comments tonight. What you got for us?
What's up, fellas? I think the Michigan game, man, is gonna come down to Foster versus Cadeau. Whoever can kind of make or break that matchup and force their way in the paint, make some stuff happen as far as creation for themselves and others. I think that's going to dictate the game because I think the interiors will probably just kind of like cancel each other out, and one of the guards and one of the wings, and Isaiah will probably, match up probably evenly. And I think it's going to come down to the 2 points, Foster and Cadeau and or Boozer as well. Like we got to dominate that point guard matchup.
I like first of all, I like Slim more than like Burnett and Gale and some of those other guys. I kind of think that's a strength for Duke, especially. If his threes are going in, that's going to be huge for Duke on Saturday. In terms of Foster versus Cadeau, I actually don't think where that one's going to be dictated is the ability to get inside and like kick out for others. I think where that's going to be dictated is Foster's scoring ability. Can he make his layups? Can he make his threes? Right? Can he get those points on the board? And how good is Foster's defense against Cadeau, and vice versa? Right? Can Cadeau get those points on the board when the front courts are battling? Can he? Because like if it comes down to the ability to get inside and kick, Cadeau is like a natural at that in a way that Foster isn't. Then you have to talk.
But like that's more important. That's what that he was saying. Like because
maybe. But I think
They're
Kaden
both.
could do that. Like, then maybe it's like a Foster or Kaden versus if you want to go that route. But I do think that Foster's ability in big moments to make baskets and to crank up his defense, yeah, I mean, that would definitely be huge. I mean, if we get Louisville Foster, Arkansas Foster, I mean, like that would be massive for this game. Goes without saying.
Yeah, that's an important point. I don't think it would be like the complete determining factor, but it is important because paint touches is one of the things that breaks down a defense. Elliot Cadeau has been elite at getting into the paint this year, like elite at it. He was kind of elite at it in North Carolina.
He was
Like,
really good at it at UNC. They just didn't have an offense. Yeah.
You know, he's been elite at that. And one of the things that don't get talked enough about is defensively is their ability to keep ball handlers from getting paint touches. It's really hard for ball handlers to turn the corner. And this is not take Dame out of it. Guards do not turn the corner on Caleb Foster. Like they just don't turn the corner on him usually. And so it will be interesting to see if he can, like, not that it will be end all be all for them, but that's an important part of what Michigan does, getting you in rotation. You're dead once you get to rotating against those guys. Like, so I don't know. That's interesting. It'll be a little interesting little nugget to see which one of those guards can keep the other one out of the paint. Because, like I said, for Cadeau, it's hard, bro. He's been really, really good at that. So, but if Duke could kind of like win that battle, the thing about it, if you have matchups like this that are like this highly contested, this closely contested, it's little certain battles like that that you have to win. Like, who wins the turnover battle? Who can create more, like, from just penetrating, and who can win the defensive rebounds? It's like every little battle that you could win is a positive for your squad. So if we can keep Cadeau out of the paint, yeah.
And that's kind of why, and I may not necessarily agree that it's a 1-for-1 matchup of Caleb versus Kaden. I think it's going to be guard play in general, including Isaiah. Because I think Isaiah is going to be very important. That shooting ability will be important on Saturday. But that's why I kind of go back to the point of, do we put Dame on?
I don't think we can, because of the rest of the size. Like, I don't really see who Caleb would, like, if you do that, if you're putting Dame on him, then what? Caleb is guarding Yaxel?
No, Isaiah is guarding Axel, which is it's still 6'7" versus 6'10", a skinny 6'7" versus 6'10". So
yeah,
which is a Dame too. So, but Dame just has obviously the longer wingspan, but Isaiah has a long wingspan too.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that Yaxel honestly makes them a matchup nightmare, bro. Yaxel makes them a legitimate matchup nightmare. It makes it to where you literally almost like it's luckily. And I'm gonna be interested to see, because a lot down the stretch of that Florida game, John played all of the bigs together. We kind of had to, like, with that front. So it's gonna be interesting to see how many minutes does a lineup with Pat, Malik, and Cam all together gets. You know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I never, because I think we all thought Dame was gonna be guarding Caleb Wilson.
Yeah,
Sire didn't do that, so I can't really even predict. It's a guessing game at this point. He may switch it up on us, but we'll see.
John do a good job of not doing the obvious, like
right,
throwing curveballs, like.
So we'll definitely see. But thank you for that call, Shaq Black, Braxton Hughes. That sounds familiar.
Oh, that's my guy.
Yo, what's up, Brotherhood Breakdown?
That's my guy.
I'm telling y'all, we have been there. Malik Brown's been there. He's locking the whole Michigan squad up, bro. I'm not worried. If Slim starts turning into, like, I don't even know what he been doing lately, it's rash for anyone in the country. Dame keeps cooking. Foster. What's all with the hate with Foster? Chilling him. He is clutch every big game. Y'all must not know who Foster is. But
shout out to my guy Braxton, man.
Do we want to do this talk?
Boozer, National Player of the Year.
Let him finish.
No stop.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say there?
Boozer, National Player of the Year. He's the GOAT.
Shout out to my boy.
No one can
Braxton.
stop him. It's simple.
Shout out Braxton, man. Shout
Shout
out
out to
Braxton.
my
No,
boy
we don't want to
Braxton,
do
man.
this, Russ. I don't
That's what I'm
want.
saying. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. If whatever what everyone feels is true, you can feel is true. That's fine. That's fine by me.
How do you know he was talking about you? Why are you taking it so offensive?
Because he was in the comments earlier yelling at me. So this is a comment this is a call that came in after this show already started. So that's how I knew. When you said the name, I was like, oh, here we go, dude. Here we go. Ridiculous.
Braxton Hughes, my guy, man. Shout out to
Hey
my
man,
guy, man.
feel how you want to feel, dude. I'm rooting for all these guys to have big success.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the important thing too. Like, at the end of the day, we are all real fans, y'all. Like, so if we're criticizing guys, it's because we want to see him. Like, nobody wants to see like Caleb playing bad. The people that's criticizing him or nobody wants to see these guys playing bad, though. You know.
Yeah.
He's not just a really, really good basketball player, but a great representative for the university and a great dude. And
oh yeah, big smoke. I mean, like, Braxton blow that smoke.
Braxton got smoke, man. He says it wasn't you.
I know. Oh, I know. I saw the comments.
Big smoke.
Yeah,
Braxton.
multiple players are the GOAT. I know that we're using the term GOAT a little loosely, probably.
Braxton Hughes versus Russ. Ding, ding,
Braxton
ding.
Hughes, man. Shout out to my boy Braxton Hughes.
That's also a battle that I don't want to wage because I don't want to be on the like against a guy that I want to succeed argument. Yeah. That's not a fun argument.
We just kidding.
That's funny, man.
Shout out to Braxton for the call. Jason, final caller.
What's up? This is Jason. First time, long time. I'm going to be at the Michigan game on Saturday. Super hyped for it. I was at the Texas Tech game earlier this year, so hoping I'm not a bad luck charm coming through to DC again. My question for y'all about this upcoming game on Saturday is, how can Isaiah make a huge impact? Because he's been balling in ACC play. And I don't really look at Michigan as a team with the strength in the backcourt. And so I think if he gets hot, he can be a flamethrower down the stretch for them. At least that's what I'm hoping. Just wanted to hear y'all thoughts on it. Love the show. Love the support. Shout out. Let's go Duke.
Shout out to you, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, like they allow a high percentage of 3-point attempts. They're very, very good at defending threes because they're huge, but also like so are we generally. And Slim, for a shooter from the outside, has really good size and a nice high release. So I'm not really too concerned there. He's also been pretty good at getting separation this year. I mean, he's been good at everything this year. I keep wanting to say like he's a stone cold lock, like first team all ACCer, but like then I went back and looked at it today. Nah, he's probably second team. Like it has more to do with everybody else in the ACC. Like, Caleb Boopy, Ryan Conwell, Renault. I mean, like that's a huge, you know what I mean? So, but still, stone cold.
I think he's been better than Conwell.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, look, Slim is one of my favorite players, like maybe in the last decade, but I don't know that the media will agree. So it is what it is.
If Duke finishes first by like 3 games, they might push the second Duke guy on the first team.
Maybe.
I believe that the media don't want to give Duke 2 first team guys, though. I 100% believe that.
Did we have 2 last year?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Kyle was second team. Kyle was second team, I think.
I know they don't want to give
it might have just been the one. Yeah. I think that this year, just with all of the guys I named are like at like basically 19 points a game and up. I mean, that's a hard hurdle to get past, even if Duke wins by a lot of games. But Slim is an unbelievable player. I definitely think he has an advantage in the backcourt. And again, this is a game where we need to make threes. I mean, like if Slim struggles to make threes in this game, that's a bad omen. If Slim goes, 5 for 7 or like he can go, then that's going to be enormous for Duke. I mean, like I also strongly suspect with how strong they are on the interior, this is like a 10 3-point attempt Slim type game plus. Like this screams that. Like if there's a prop bet like that, you should be all over it. So Slim is maybe the X factor in this game as far as I'm concerned.
This is gonna sound crazy, bro, but I would almost prefer Slim to take the bad, highly contested threes versus attacking the closeout and trying to get downhill in the Michigan game. Like, just as long as they're not too egregious looks, because that is 100% going to be the difference maker. His ability to get hot from the 3-point line can change everything momentum wise. Like, his threes are like different. Like when he hits them, especially like in big games, like they're like complete momentum shifters. So I would almost would rather see him force 3-point attempts. Like nothing too egregious, but like he's got to, like you said, he's got to get north of 10.
Green light. Green light for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely think he might be my X factor. I'm looking at it because I can
see that.
I'm expecting. Obviously, I think the biggest one is obviously Pat being on the floor, but from an actual like player standpoint, I think Slim has to be that guy. Like where, I mean, if he gives us what he's been giving us the last 3 games, I think we'll be in great shape. And kind of like you said, if he's open off whatever, a pin down, curl, like launch the ball, bro. Don't
22 points versus 12 points in a game like this is going to be enormous. That's a huge swing.
Yeah, and kind of to your point, if a lot of time he does sometimes get in the paint and he starts pivoting and he's like, you know, how am I going to get a shut off against Michigan? That is getting swatted into the 3rd row. So, you know, if you're not making a quick decision of I'm catching, I'm driving, I'm going up, don't just shoot the 3, brother.
I don't want him showing the scouts like his overall well-rounded game. I really don't. I mean, if it happens in the flow of the game, cool. I need flamethrower Isaiah though. That's the Isaiah we need. Like seriously on Saturday.
Like I do think that will take us next level on offensively. And like kind of like you said, every time he hits a 3, if you've been watching him the past 3 games, Isaiah's hitting 3s and he's dancing every single time. It feels like Shire's about to like, tell him, bro, no more dancing because the first time he did it, Tyler Thornton was like, get back on defense, brother. But he
gotta be so. I mean, but like that type of stuff is what makes Slim who he is,
right?
And that he feeds off of that, and now especially in Cameron, he's kind of like you kind of gotta let that type of stuff go because like it creates a different momentum monster when he
let
gets
him
those
dance.
Type of plays going.
Let the man dance, man. Let him dance. Let him high five dudes in the stands. Let him, like go very slowly back down the court because he's like doing this kind. You know what I mean? Like give me something like that. Yeah, I mean,
I love his energy. Love that energy.
He's a mojo player, right? Like he goes very, very. He swings wildly based on like what he's exuding, right? Like he's had some of those games, especially like in the early part of ACC play, where he was kind of struggling a little bit, right? And then we don't like feel his presence in the game like that, right? But like when he makes a 3 and he starts, posturing a little bit and talking out there, then you feel him on the floor a lot more. And like, and this team also needs that energy too in a game like this. Like it's not like this team has a lot of incredibly talented players, but not a lot of dudes that are like woofing out there. And Slim is definitely one of those guys. Dame is one of those guys. Pat Loki is one of those guys. So like
Nick is too, but that's only when he's
Loki Nick is as well. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Well, we can't. I didn't name any other white players just then. Though, so you can't list him. It's different. Nick reminds me of Marshall Henderson. Like he's
Hey, now that's a what? Damn, that's a name right there. I ain't heard it in a minute.
Honestly, I thought the only reason why he was in mind is because remember how Marshall Henderson, when he was playing, he was out like the more he was talking and the more he was dancing and the more he was doing whatever.
He started lighting your ass up.
You felt those threes starting coming in, man.
Light your ass up. Yep.
Yeah, like Slim's not the same sort of a-hole that Henderson was, right? But But
He's
Slim
very,
is the guy who feeds off that energy. He needs
No,
the energy,
for
and
sure.
I
For
support
sure.
it. I support it
Me too.
150%.
No, for
Me
sure.
too.
Marshall Anderson, good pull. Actually, one last call. Braxton said he gave us another call.
Yeah, I
My
can't
boy,
wait.
he back.
Yeah, my fault. My fault on calling you out about my dog Foster. But we good. Slim makes shots. We the best team in the country. Brotherhood breakdown. I need you back on your the TikTok. I need to tap in.
Oh my goodness! Shout out Braxton, man. Go.
Braxton is hilarious, man. Braxton is one of those guys, man, that be in all my comments, every single post, all the lives. Shout out to Braxton Hughes, man.
Good.
Shout
Good.
out Braxton, man. We appreciate y'all calling. But that'll do it for the calls today. Thank y'all for all the calls.
Got some good calls in.
Good calls in, man. Good calls in.
Mostly, we didn't have to chastise anybody today.
Nah, because it was gonna be hard to blame John for something when we winning by almost 40 points.
Oh man, you know that's the. I will be very interested to see if we lose on Saturday. Hey, Shire. Oh, Shire.
Hey, I don't want to see. I ain't even gonna speak that into existence. I ain't even gonna speak that into existence. But you ain't wrong about that, Zion.
Any player that didn't play well is instantly like, do they have what it takes? It's always, can Cam finish against size? Can Slim be the second best guy? Can Pat blah blah blah? Right? If a player plays bad in a loss, then it's instantly not good enough. But if we win, then they're the best. Like that's the whole thing, man. You gotta be even keeled. You gotta try to be your best, to be even keeled. We try to talk about this. Zion, I did see somebody requested way back earlier if we had any thoughts on the Jordan Smith Jr. thing.
Oh, I mean, to me, we kind of lost that a while ago. So I feel like it was during the stretch of the City of Palms, and then I think that's when Calipari started putting a blitz on. He was at every single Jordan Smith event. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm personally not mad that we didn't get him. I think my biggest worry and concern was we're gonna have, if we do have him, Rippy, Kaden or Caleb and Jordan, we're gonna be a small team. We're a very small team, and we're gonna have a backcourt that's a little bit questionable shooting.
More than a little bit. I mean, like that would have been a tough scenario. That was my biggest thing. I feel like once it became clear that Kaden was not a one and done, which some people had been floating out in the offseason, right? And once it became clear that Foster is a player of value, and then once Rippy commits, then what does the team look like next year, right? Like if they're playing Cam at the 4, if you've got a 5 that isn't a stretch 5 but is like an enforcer inside 5, I mean, like there's a world in which your starters, I mean, like if Dame chose to come back, which I would love to have Dame back, let's be perfectly clear. There's a world in which the lineup could have been at points something like Kaden, JSJ, Sar, Cam, and a 5. I mean, like that is a brutal shooting lineup. Yeah. It's an incredible defensive lineup, but it's a brutal, brutal shooting lineup. So even though I think he's a dog and I think he's a really, really good player, and is there a world in which I wish there was like a way to figure it out? Of course, but like I think it's pretty clear once Rippy became a priority and once Rippy came to Duke, it's like, well, where are the minutes? Like where are the lineups that also have the shooting there that then make it make sense?
Right.
So he's a great, great player. He's going to be a great pickup for Arkansas.
This is my thing for Duke fans. Duke fans, we got to stop being so spoiled and greedy. Everybody know that we didn't necessarily need him with what we got coming in with Rippy. We know that Kaden is coming back for the most part. We know Caleb is not going nowhere. We don't got but so many men. Everybody love Darren Harris so much. Like, it ain't but so much we can do. Like, you know what I mean? Duke fans just want everything, bro. Like, honestly, and like what you said, if you look at it from a shooting perspective, it just would not have been. It would have looked good on paper, like the names would have looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
But bruh, y'all would have been so mad at that team next year. Like y'all would have been so mad at that team.
Well, there's also the thing of course, we didn't need him because like Duke technically doesn't like they have the resources. They don't need like any one individual guy. Like even if there's a mass exodus after this year, well, Duke has the resources to put together a really good team next year, regardless, right? Like, and yeah, there's a world in which I feel very confident that we're returning at least one guard, if not two, right? Like, so then what does it look like from there? Obviously, we'll be in the market for wings who can shoot, but like guys who are very, very good on this year's team are not like lottery picks. So I'm sure Duke will at least try to get guys back anybody who's not a lottery pick. I'm sure they're going to be like, let's make the big offer and let's see, right? Let's see if they want to stay. So like
but that's the thing too. Like we know a lot of guys who's coming back.
Yeah, like if you factor in the guys who could come back, well, then there's also just not a lot of minutes if all those guys come back. They probably won't all come back. Let's be clear. I don't think all of them will come back, but it's not impossible necessarily, at least from the eyes of like them. Whereas Arkansas, Acuff's not going to be there. Like they're seen like Ewan and Brazil, like those guys are all going to be gone. So like. I don't know.
And I think
a lot of sense for him. I think it sucks for us. I wish we could have made it work because I think he's a really good player, but like it's also just
it would have been weird. And it would have gone against everything Shire has been preaching, I guess, the past 3 years of having size at every position.
Yeah.
And even though
Smitty's wingspan is big enough and he's strong enough that like I don't think it would have been a big deal. But the shooting is the thing that would have been the really big deal. I mean, it would have been a pretty dreadful shooting team.
And honestly, bro, I did not want to have two freshmen in the backcourt on a team that is competing for a national championship. I just don't want that.
I think
we wouldn't have, to be clear, but I agree.
Yeah, I just would rather have a more tenured guy like in there, like so.
That goes back to the point I was getting to where Shire has kind of said, even on this podcast, that he wanted to decrease the recruiting classes. Honestly, if we got JSJ, I think that would have gone against that theory. But the fact that now we only have 3 guys who are probably going to play coming in as freshmen. Myers a project. He's not. I
don't think he's gonna play. I watched him play in person in December. He's got some tools, but I don't think he'll play much.
Yeah, he's not gonna be ready for next year. But 3 guys, it's gonna be a first year where we're kind of gonna be skewing older. And I'm sure the portal will jump in the portal, especially for the front court, maybe even for some shooting as well. So I think having all of that and having maybe an older team next year, I think Duke will be in very good shape. Very good shape. And at this point, y'all got to just shush Shire with these rosters because he cooked. Even this summer, we would have had Cedric Coward on this team. People forget that.
I remind people of that all the time when they get low on the portal. It's like, dude, he landed like the best guy in the portal. It just didn't work. It took a weird set of circumstances and it didn't work out. But like the scouting was on the money, clearly.
He landed the best guy, and no one knew he landed the best guy until they saw him in the NBA. So
not even let us down with his roster construction yet. Not one time.
There's also, I think there's also a very strong chance. I mean, and again, it depends on everything else. But like Shire's also said on this podcast, I do believe that you have to recruit everybody, including your own guys, every offseason. Like, he's going to have to figure out. So then that does mean you have a little bit of flexibility in terms of, how you can construct and how you can play. Like, so I think there's a world in which like Duke fans should not get used to the idea that retention is 100% every year. Like, it's definitely not going to be. I'd be really surprised if it is this offseason. We're always going to be vulnerable, as every team is, to like a surprise departure. But also, again, Duke has the resources to shop, man. I mean, like they've got the resources, and I think that there's if you have Kaden as your point guard, and you've got Cam, and you've got a traditional center, you want two guys that can shoot at the 2 and 3, like you just do. I think, generally speaking. So I don't know. I think it'll be a really interesting conversation for the offseason. Obviously, how the season ends will determine a lot of things in terms of who might be back, who Duke would prioritize coming back. A lot of those questions are sort of TBD. But yeah, I mean, like it's JSJ is a really good player. Is the bottom line, and it sucks that it's just the construction's not quite right. It just is what it is. It makes sense for both parties, I think.
It does. Yeah, it does.
No, man, we'll be all right. We'll be very much in good shape this summer. But before
I
that,
hope we get them into the ACC SEC challenge next year.
It could be interesting. Have we played them already in that? Oh no, we played them.
We played them in the flip when we went there. And
flip. Yeah, they may not. We haven't got who have we? Alabama.
No, we haven't got them too. That would be interesting because Nate had some interesting comments about Coach K his last year that I still ain't forgot. I still don't like him.
Although we did give them belt in the elite.
Yeah, we did.
That was people overuse belt generally speaking. But that was the belt.
That was the belt. What they got in the Sweet 16 last year. Well, no, that was elite. Was that elite? That was elite 8. My fault.
Yeah, that one got gross for them. That one was.
That was belt.
That was the retribution. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, but we'll see. That's next year though. Big game on Saturday. Got to play the Undertaker one more time, man. It's the one for the books. Final Four experience. I don't know why game day is going there. Jay Williams, one final message. I don't want to see you put on a Duke jersey and just put on the Michigan jersey. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Put on the Michigan jersey. Say Michigan is going to win by 15 because at this point, you're already on the other side this year. So go ahead.
Man, how did this happen, man? This
dead to me.
So bummed.
Hey man, that's when you want to cater to the crowd. Yo, even what do you say? What do you say last? He said something on Saturday that got me.
Yeah, for Arizona, he was like, I committed a third foul in the first half of that game, and then he had like the foul. He had the picture of the foul on his shirt as he was yelling at everybody.
I think I'm personally going to go to game day when they come to Cameron because I live in Raleigh, and so Durham is like 30 minutes. I'm going to personally drive to game day just so I can boo Jason Williams every single time he talks. Dead to me, bro. He is dead to me, and I know he won us a natty.
Like he's a likable enough guy without doing this. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
People don't hate you. Like you're not Leitner. Like if this was Leitner, I'm like, okay, maybe you're trying to mend like everything you did to everybody. But it's like, yo, Jay Williams, you're not hated like that. You don't need a pander. Stop.
Dude, on Saturday, he's gonna be like, if the Fab Five and the 1992 team played again, Fab Five would have won. Whatever. It's like, oh my God. If
Maryland the Fab Five was the first team that gave me the confidence that I could be a basketball player, and they made me actually want to play basketball. He's gonna be up there talking like that. Right?
I almost tweeted. I didn't want to tweet it, but it definitely crossed my mind to tweet like, if Maryland was any good at all and they had game day in College Park, he'd be there going like, the miracle minute never should have happened. If I could take it back, I would. It's like, man, come on, bro.
It's
one of my favorite players ever. So it stinks.
Mine too, and that's why I hate that I gotta feel like this about him. I hate that I gotta say he dead to me, but it is what it is, bro.
He's not dead to me, but I would love to have him on our show and go, man, what's going on, dude? Come on, dude. Come back to the good side, man. Come on.
Don't want to hear it. But you know what? As a basketball player, though, can't take nothing away from him, man. One of the greatest to ever wear a Duke jersey.
Facts.
But
we are separating the basketball player now at this point. Exactly.
I ain't even talking about that. Because he was
separating the art
Jason
from
when
the
he was
artist.
the basketball player. He was a completely different person. He was Jason back then anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I need Jason. I'm cool with
Jason
Jason.
Williams.
This J guy,
Jason.
Oh man, but all right.
Not the Jason that's saying homophobic stuff about Jared McCain.
Oh man.
And not the Jason that shot a guy or whatever that was.
no,
We need
different one.
our Jason Williams.
That's a different Jason.
Shout out to you, Kyle.
Hey, see, I'm glad somebody else feel like this, man. We got to boo Jay Will, bro. I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm
we got to, but we'll see.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I can't. My heart. I get it, but I can't condone it, man. I can't condone it.
I'll condone it for you, man.
Oh God.
Oh, he needs it. He needs it. But we'll see. It'll be a very fun day Saturday. We will be back obviously after the game on Saturday to talk everything. Hopefully after a win. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll be back later. Go Duke. Only 6 games left in the regular season.
Oh
man.
God.
Too sad, man.
Man, Cam Boozer's about